probably in a little pocket with a few bits and pieces, none of the actual bits of the clarinet. So this is what it looks like. It's not very big and it's very fragile. So we need to take really good care of them. The best way we can do that is by only holding it by this bottom bit. And when we're taking it in and out of the case, we need to do it really slowly and really carefully so that we don't chip it. Because if we're too fast, we might accidentally chip it against the side of that case. This is a Rico reed. This is what I use. I find that they're good reeds and it's what my students use. When you buy a reed, you should start on a size 1.5, and it's worth buying a box of 10 of them. I think they generally come a bit cheaper when you buy them by the box. Each reed will probably last maybe 4 to 6 weeks if they don't get broken. And the reeds are about $3 each. So that's what you should expect to pay for them, and that's why we're going to take good care. So, take out your reed, and we need to wet the reed first of all so that we can play our clarinet. So, we're going to keep the reed in our mouth while we set up. Okay, the next thing we need to do is we need to take out the barrel, and that's the second top part of the clarinet. And we're also going to take out the mouthpiece. Now, the first thing we're going to do with the mouthpiece is we're going to take out some cork grease, which is something you can buy from music shops. And on this bit of cork down the bottom, we're just going to put some of this cork grease just like this, and then rub it in with our finger. That keeps it nice and slippery so that it slides into the barrel nice and easily. And then we're going to put this on, just screw that in like that, and that should fit together nicely with no gaps. That's what we've got so far. And now the next thing is our reed that's been in our mouth, so it should be nice and wet. We need to put this on the mouthpiece so that it fits nicely at the top with the shiny bit on the outside, so you can't see the writing of what reed it is. Nicely on the top. We don't want it to be way over the top of the mouthpiece, but we don't want it to have a gaping hole either. Nice at the top. And now what we're going to do with that is we're going to take our ligature, which should look something like this, and we're going to slide that carefully, not touching the reed, really carefully like that, with the screws facing the outside and to the right. So, we're going to tighten them just enough to hold the reed on. They don't have to be extremely tight. And we're ready to go. We're going to set up the whole clarinet. So, look in your case, and you'll find the bell. Now the bell is where the sound comes out. The next thing you need to take is the lower joint. It's a bit hard to tell the difference between the lower and the upper joint, but the lower joint is the one that has a thumb rest and it doesn't have those keys on the back. It is a little bit bigger, not much though. And it only has one piece of cork. So you take the lower joint with only one piece of cork, and again we're going to take our cork grease and we're just going to put it on just that cork bit and move that around with our finger, and that should slide nicely into our bell like that. Easiest to screw it around like that rather than try to just push it like that. Much easier to screw it around. Okay, next part is the upper joint. Again, our cork grease on both of these bits. I'll let you do that. Move it around with your finger, just work that in there, and the other part. Okay. Ready? This bit's a little bit tricky. Now, these keys sometimes known as the golf club keys, because that's what they look like. You need to screw this into this part, but as you'll see, there is a tiny little key there which needs to line up with the key here. So there are two lines there which should be in line here. I'll just get a close up of this one. And that should look like it's lining up at the back. Our thumb rest and our key for our left hand, that should all be pretty straight. Okay, we're almost done. Now here's the easy bit. We're taking our barrel and mouthpiece, which we've already set up, and we're going to screw that one on, and our reed should line up with this key to register